So this is such a beautiful journey. You can see two beautiful faces. Ram from
I
US.
can't see Ram's face.
No, I can see. I can see. Ram
Oh,
from US and Sudha, she is in Kuwait. Both are brother and sister, and both of them joined my program. So Ram, we listened Sudha side in the morning when he came to the coaching call and shared with us. Why don't you share your journey and starting from how did you actually join my program? That is,
Definitely.
yeah, please.
So I was telling my sister that she needs to do PMP to get a better job and, come to US and all that. So she said, what should I do? Where should I go? And I said, I don't know. So she found Amar. And how she found, she knows. And she said, okay, I found Amar and looks like he's in US. Why don't you contact him? So I contacted Amar, and within 2 minutes, I didn't even talk about Sudha, I enrolled. And then I called Sudha to say, hey, I enrolled. And she said, oh, you are also joining. I said, yeah. She motivated me for that.
That was
he
interesting.
must see.
Yes, that was really interesting to look into that. Okay, so Ram, how did you study the entire way? Share everything that you can, please.
So there is a big difference between me and my sister. She is very methodical and she will analyze. She's more hardworking than me. So my approach and her approach was always different, and we were always in conflict, believe it or not. And Trimsy always came into as conflict management. So which was really helpful because we learned through that process. And then we became performing by the time we went for the exam. So the deal was, the key here, I did not appreciate it at that time. I appreciate it now more, is you have to do the RCA. Every test you do, RCA is important. Doesn't matter how we do it, because it has to register in our brain and with a proper reasoning. What happens is one chapter after the other chapter after other chapter keeps coming, and if your fundamentals are not built, it gets built through RCA, because you reason. You go to Trinzy, you go to Amir, you ask for reason why it is like this, and it registers. And then eventually when you are thrown into the random test, the mocks and everything, all these comes into picture. And then you have the 180s. 180 is where you play the test match, right? You basically try to build the capacity to sit for 4 hours, because we are not used to sitting for 4 hours. In fact, even when I was doing all the tests, I would do 10, take a break, come back 10. So I never did 60 properly. So when I started doing 180, it was not a test for my knowledge, it was test for my body also, like neck and hands and everything. I told Trimsy, what is this? It is tough. But practice, and going back, studying that, and coming back and applying it every time. So I say we had to develop agile mindset for ourselves for the exam. So that was the journey, because in summary, if I have to say, the journey was, without knowing the project management, learning the project management, and coming to the actually applying it for our exam as a project. To clear the project, to clear the exam is a project.
Okay, to clear the exam. This is a very interesting thing, that to clear is a project. Not only just doing that, the entire thing uh, along this way is the project. How do we manage it? Let's talk to the final project that we did today class. So let's today exam. Let's walk through this thing. How was the exam? How did you manage time? What were the challenges in there? Please go ahead.
So it's divided into 3 sections, right? The first 60 minutes was very easy. So I was short questions and easy type of agile mindset kind of questions. And it was very easy. We had done similar things. About 20-25 questions you could literally walk through, and you can gain time. So I did that. I wanted to use that time. I finished, but then I was given a paper, so I was writing down questions wherever I had some doubts, like I need to revisit. So there were about 7 questions I wanted to revisit. Believe it or not, all the 7 questions I changed the answer when I
All
went back.
7 questions, you change the answer. Okay.
Yes. So in the first 60. So I was left with 5 minutes, about 3 to 4 minutes, I would say, after the first 60.
Okay.
So I took that 10-minute break. Actually, I took about 8 minutes break. I came back, had some little water, and I had taken a cereal bar. I took a bite of the cereal bar, came back. The key here is the breathing exercise. That really helped. So I was doing the breathing exercise before the start and after the break. Or just before, after the break, like, before I said, okay, I'm ready. So it really calmed me down, because when I woke up this morning, I felt like I don't know anything. Even though
I felt the same. I felt the same.
I felt blank. If you asked me a project manager definition, I couldn't have answered. I was feeling so blank. And, then yesterday, I spoke with Amir, and he had told me one thing: don't study. Just close everything, don't study anything. And that's what I did. I didn't study anything. And just, even though I took my notes and whatever I have, everything is in the car actually. I took everything, but the only thing I revised was the formula again. Just, I thought I'll go inside, I'll write down the formula in a piece of paper, but they said I cannot write it in advance. So anyway, so I didn't have to do it. So coming to the second section was medium, because it had little bit, oh, by the way, one other thing is I got one drag and drop in each section and one mathematical problem only. Even the mathematical,
one drag and drop question.
3 drag and drops total.
Total 3 drag and drop question.
And one mathematical, that's it. And it was a very simple question.
I got remember? 2 in every section. 2 in every section.
Oh, okay. And the mathematical question was straightforward. The company has outsourced it for $60,000 to an outside company, and they told the project manager, evaluate if it is done inside. There are 2 developers for $700 a month each, and then the project manager has $1,600, and the other expense is $2,400 something. So after evaluating how much it's going to be, so if you evaluate based on the PERT, they said based on PERT, so it was 5-month project, 5, 6, and 4, and then you do the math. And so I was getting about 5 as the PERT number, and I multiplied that 5 with 5,000, it was 25,000. So the saving was 35,000. So that was the only simple question I got. So coming into the second 60 questions, it was a little bit tricky questions where, like, for me, the weakest area is when they ask me about the quality and scope. Scope and quality was always my weak areas. And so that made me think quite a bit. So by the time I finished the 60 questions, I had 73 minutes in the clock for the last 60 questions. And the biggest fear came true because Amir had told me one section is going to be tough. So I was not convinced the 2 sections were tough. So I was pretty confident. The way things were going, I thought I will pass. So by the time the third started, everything was long. The screen, whatever it was 2 lines you have to read. So by the time I reached the last 20 questions, I had only 13 minutes left. So at that time, I said, okay, I need to go into the recovery mode, which
Amir mode.
Amir mode. So instead of waiting for the last 5 minutes, what I said is I need to catch up, because 20 question is kind of like make or break for my passing failing type. If that is huge. And that is where you got all the multiple answers also, like select 2, choice 3, and all that 2 were also come. But luckily, out of that, about 7 questions came from the last 6, what we did, the mocks. 7 questions came out of that. So that, imagine the 7 questions I was able to do within 10 to 15 seconds each. So I kind of caught up because of that. So then I had then it was not bad. Then last 5 minutes when the pop-up came up, I still needed I think 7 questions or 8 questions, something like that. It was manageable at that point. So then I started doing what you had said in that key, read the question, select, read the question, just the line, what does the question want? And so most of it was straightforward, like servant leader, agile methodology, servant leader, agile. Like take it out of that 7, there was one question, maybe I got it wrong, probably. But it was like my heart was pounding, like I could hear my heart in my head. So that's how it was. It was very, like in cricket, we say till the last ball, it went. And it was crazy.
I'm happy.
But in a way, it was good because I got all the tough ones in the end. Because if I had got it in the beginning, I would have been demoralized throughout, thinking that, what I will do.
Thinking what I will do. But I'm happy that we are able to get this thing done and complete this journey. Okay, let's talk about this thing. How many mocks, like 180 mocks, is needed to clear the exam? You did a lot of 180 mocks. How many mocks you did 180? 2 or 3?
I did 3. 2 and 1 Udemy.
Yeah, same as her. Same as.
Yes.
And what about random mocks? How many random mocks you did?
So I did all the random mocks.
All 60.
Pretty much, we did
all the
pretty much
60,
the
all
same.
60, and to get to the 60. So random mock 60 was the first time I was sitting in one place and doing all the 60 questions at the same time.
Okay.
Because before that I was taking a break and coming back and no timer and all that, right? But that random mock is the first one where so before that what I did couple of 30s. There are some 30 question random mocks. I did 1 or 2 just to get my sitting capacity increase.
Mani, you didn't do process.
Oh, I did.
All process? No,
not all. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
I didn't do 2 process. I did the remaining.
You did the remaining. Okay, let's walk through this thing. Why follow-up is important and how it played a role in your preparation.
Follow-up like the RCA?
No, how Hasan Timji was following with you. I was following with you, making sure.
I was also following.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. I would have procrastinated to a couple of months later, and my travel is coming, and I would have procrastinated. So what was happening is Sudha would say, "Oh, I have done this, and I have not even started." So this was my what do you call the 3 sides of the triangle, like
Yeah.
and
Agile.
I was agile. So I was finding it difficult otherwise to kind of find time, sit. But once you got, so the other thing is a person like me should schedule the exam and then do a reverse engineering. Otherwise, what will happen is you keep preparing. And I see there are a lot of people, maybe in our groups like me, who, if he books the exam and prepares towards it, they will do it. Otherwise, we keep studying and no exam, right? So couple of days, there is some party going on, or just travel, meet kids or whatever, and then we never do.
Mostly I don't do that. The reason being, like, many people cannot bear the attention, but for some people it actually has worked. We did it for our 2022, a lot of students, 2022, 2021, and it actually worked in a very beautiful way. So yeah, this can work for some people, getting the exam tension and worked into that way.
And clear the calendar too, to plan for that. I mean, you can't be busy and then just pay the money. You have to commit yourself. Otherwise, it's difficult.
Yeah, that is for 100% sure. Commitment is there. Commitment has to be there. So this has been a great journey, both brother and sister moving towards it. Like, this was so interesting. Like, sister is joining first, but brother joined the first and out of blue. Like, when you are talking to somebody, you are in a selling mode and you are telling. When I was talking to Ram, I had no idea that he planned to join. He just asked me a few questions, and I imagine because he's gonna pay for Sudha, as many, if you have relatives, they pay directly from, it is cheap for that. So I was thinking he was talking about then. Then he told me about his journey, why he wanted to do PMP, and he jumped on it. So I'm glad for that. And Sudha, I want to thank you for that because actually Ram
Yeah.
told me how you were pushing him, how you were making sure. Who is elder, you or Ram?
Ram is elder by 3 years.
Yeah, Ram is elder, but
2.5.
yeah, but you were playing
Yeah,
a
2.5.
role of more of our elder sister, trying to focus him,
Yeah.
study this, study that. Yeah, so that has been a great journey here. What Sudha and Ram, what would you give advice to all the people? And guys, if anyone has question, they can raise their hand and can ask. What would be your advice to those people who are preparing the exam? How they should give the exam?
My advice would be go on the concepts. Like if your concepts are clear, if there's a question and you don't understand why you have chosen an option, go behind that and try to make sure that you understand the reason why you are choosing C and why you are not choosing A, B, C, and then go to the depth of each question, and so that your concepts get clearer day by day. That's how me and Ram, I think we did a lot of brainstorming with each other also. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of arguments. Like
Yes.
she would pick one answer, and I would say no, that is not correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. So like how important that PMP community is for you guys to believe that how they can help each other. Like because my mantra is each one teach one. What would you say, both of you, on that? How we need to
oh,
do that?
without the group, half the learning would not have happened
Yeah.
because we are part of the group. Even if it is not your question, when you are seeing someone else's question, then the discussion happens, and that is what came into my mind while studying
Yeah.
and everything. And we need kind of
And
some
if
kind of
Ram doesn't
parameters.
see, I would forward it to him.
Yeah. And basically RCA, whether however it is, whatever is your method, the RCA kind of helps us to reinforce the fundamentals.
Correct.
Amir, you are muted.
That's a very interesting thing, and that's a very important thing that we worked into that way, and we do it in this way. Thank you very much, Ram and Sudha. And I asked, as I asked Sudha, uh, as I asked Sudha, keep each one teach one. Ram, I know you are a very busy professional, so whatever you can do, I look forward from you guys that could keep on working. And as I said it to Ram, don't stop the journey here. Both of you are senior professional. PMP for you guys, like for many people, it is the like okay with like 5 to 7 year experience, PMP is okay. But with you guys, Ram, 20 years experience you have.
If that doesn't tell my age, about 28 years.
So with 20 plus years, I can say that. I don't want to go to that age. So both of you guys should go for PGMP for sure. PMP was your starting point, as both of you said, we haven't studied for a long time, and this was a blockade. The blockade has been opened, right? And what I always say to my students and to my home also, my wife, every single year you need to add a tool there. You and I do that same thing when I came to Miami. When Ram, we had the first conversation. What I was doing, I was spending like $6,000 on me getting the physical training. Now I'm going to Las Vegas in the March, attending a conference there, and like continuously development on yourself. That is the only way how you stay top on the game,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
How do you stay? PMP is a stepping stone, and I expect both of you to also do the PGMP together. Thank you, Ram.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, guys. I
Thank
think
you.
Ram
How
would
much time it takes for this program, Amir sir? How much
PGMP.
time it takes for this pizza?
PGMP, you can say that in 3 months. The PGMP is a big application. The PGMP
Yeah.
part is a big application part. So with the flow of PMP that you guys are right now, I'm sure we can get it in 3 months, right? We can. Ram, when are you traveling?
Oh,
Next month,
Next month. And Sudha, when are you coming to US?
June, July, I think.
So Sudha, I would recommend
June, July. Yeah.
you to start PGMP, and you start your journey. And Ram, probably if you are traveling after like 2 weeks, we can look at the application. Otherwise, when is the exact date, Ram? When are you traveling?
February 20th, something like that.
We can fill the application. We can submit the application, and like once the application is submitted, PMI take almost one. And once you come back, then we do the preparation.
Okay.
That we can look into that. You guys decide it, and then we can work into that way. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Ram.
lot.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sudha. Ram, do send me a good picture
Thank
of
you.
you. Maybe wearing a
Yes.
new watch like that. I would have yeah, you spent a good amount of money on that, so you should like make a picture of with that thing.
Yes.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you, Shiri.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hussain is also there.
Bye.
Hussain, I'll ping you in a minute.
Oh, Hussein.